Neil Anderson it is. 35 instead of 25, and Jay Taylor caught up with him.
Yeah, and 4.5 speed instead of about 4.8 speed. Nice job by Harbaugh. Watch all the time he has to throw, but maybe he's becoming a pocket passer because he wanted to take off right here. He sees Anderson, and because the Cardinals are in man-to-man coverage, there is nobody on this side of the field. Nice job by Jay Taylor chasing Anderson down, pushing him out of bounds, but that's a big play by Harbaugh.
That's a gain of 41 yards, first down at the Phoenix 41-yard line. Back split on first down, inside handoff to Brad Muster, big hole. Huge gain to the 22. Welcome those of you who have been watching the Green Bay, Minnesota game from Milwaukee, where Green Bay outlasted the Vikings by 14 points. We are just underway. Chicago with a 41-yard pass from Harbaugh to Neil Anderson, and they followed that up with a 20-yard run by Brad Muster. As a result, a first down and 10 on the first drive at the Phoenix 21-yard line. Back-to-back huge gains by Chicago. Toss to Anderson. Good penetration by Taylor to force Anderson wide left. Well, what's happening with Philadelphia, Dallas? Let's go back to Greg.
Well, I'll tell you, Verne, with 44 seconds to play, Randall Cunningham from 10 yards out to the corner of the end zone. Calvin Williams leaps. And with the point after, the Eagles grab a 1-point lead. They're under a half minute to play at Texas Stadium. Verne?
All right, Greg. That renewal of the rivalry between the Eagles and Dallas, Buddy Ryan and Jimmy Johnson. And here we've got Victor.
Yard line of Dallas. 25 seconds remaining. Jeff Fisher, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, on the left. Buddy Ryan. They're down in 10.
They're showing double zone again, Tim, and I think they'll probably try to hit something in the seam with their two inside receivers, or one inside receiver going straight up the field.
And again with time for Novacek. He's got it. Allen hits him. It's a first down, Dallas, at their 45-yard line. 17 seconds left.
Tim, when you run a double zone like that where both cornerbacks come up to cover the short area and you only have two safety men
out in front, Anderson with a good cut, and now the Bears are on the doorstep. But there are some problems as far as having success with a new defense early in a ball game. Players tend to lose their confidence if they're not having that success. Right now, the Cardinals are getting murdered.
First and goal, 3 big plays in this drive. Anderson, the deep back in the off. Gets the toss with Muster leading the way around the left side. Touchdown, Chicago. Made it look like scissors through paper. The 9th touchdown this season for Neil Anderson.
Well, the real key block here is thrown by the littlest guy on the field, Dennis Gentry, top of the screen there, working against Jay Taylor. That's called chicken fight, and he held off Taylor just long enough for Anderson to get in for the easy 6 on a very easy 85-yard drive.
Butler's kick is up and good. Plays at 41, 20, and 19. Lead to a Chicago touchdown.
There's some good blocking on the left side as well, as Covert will come out and he'll shut down Sadler. Muster with the lead. He really has nobody to block until it's way too late for the Cardinals. There's the block by Gentry, and Anderson goes in almost untouched.
9th touchdown of the year for Neil Anderson. That is his 7th on the ground.
And you know, one of the things that Bugle told us yesterday is he wants to win over these fans. Well, this is a big challenge for him because there may be half Chicago Bear fans in this crowd of 72,000. And what may happen if this team doesn't play any better is the Bears might win over the other half and make them all Bear fans.
Joe Bugle talking about something. The Chicago scoring drive, half of those plays better than 18 yards, 84 yards, 3 minutes and 24 seconds. Anderson tapped it off with a 2-yard run.
And really the key to the drive, I think, was Harbaugh's decision on that second down play pass. His line gave him a lot of time to throw. The Cardinals had good coverage in the secondary, and just as he was about to pack it under his arm and take off running himself, he found Neil Anderson, and that really gave the Bears a tremendous lift to start this ball game.
Kevin Butler will kick off for the Chicago Bears by Sikahema, and Terrence Flagler are deep for the Cardinals. Chicago with a 5-1 record had the bye last week after dismantling the Rams in the Sunday night game 2 weeks ago. And here's Butler's kick, very, very short, taken by Sikahema at the 15. Goes right to the 30 and is spilled as he gets to the 33-yard line. Return of 18 yards, now in his second year with the Cardinals, in his first full year as a starter. Here is Tim Rosenbaugh hitting 56% of his passes. And his offensive line is a veteran offensive line, very good, anchored by the All-Pro Louise Sharp, Kennard, Bill Lewis, a newcomer at center, Lance Smith Robbins, the tight end is Walter Reeves, Tim Jordan, the H-back, the sensational rookie Johnny Johnson, joined by Roy Green and J.T. Smith, the veteran wide receivers. 1st and 10. Rosenbaugh looks right, looks left, and he'll have to scramble. Well, he has picked up 181 yards in the ground before that run, and he is forced to run when he didn't want to then. Defensively for the Bears, Armstrong, Perry, Hampton, and Richard Dent. The linebackers anchored by Mike Singletary with Rivera and Morrissey on either side. And this young secondary, Wolford, Lemuel Stinson, Mark Carrier, and Sean Gale. 2nd down and 6 after the gain of 4. They toss and sweep to the near side. Johnson. And he's got a 1st down, Phoenix at the 46-yard line. Johnny Johnson. Mark Carrier with the tackle, a gain of 9.
It's going to be a treat for a lot of fans that haven't seen this young man play. He is so smooth, so deceptively fast. He got that corner, got 10 yards like there was nothing to it. 7th round draft pick out of San Jose State. There are a lot of teams in the league that are sitting there with egg on their face, wondering about reputations, and some scouts that are looking over their shoulder too, saying, why didn't we get this guy?
1st and 10, Phoenix. Ricky Prohl starts in motion, now comes back, and they'll hand it to Johnson. He tries right tackle, gets to the 50-yard line, and a fumble on the play, but the raw ball is going to be ruled down by contact. The Bears indicate they have it, but the line judge on the far side said no. Ball was on the ground.
And that line judge is Ben Dreith, the former referee, and he's not one that you're going to win many arguments with. He's going to come in there and he's going to say it's down, and that's it. Longtime official. That, of course, is Pat Haggerty, our main official today, referee, but Ben Dreith was right on top of that one.
2nd down and 6, 9:22 to go, 1st quarter. Chicago leads it by 7. Rosenbaugh out of the backfield for Johnson. Nice move. Oh, nifty move, 1st down, Phoenix. Put the move on Mike Singletary. Donnell Wolford is the injured Chicago Bear. Welcome those of you who watched that thrilling Philadelphia-Dallas game. The Eagles coming from behind in the final minute of play and winning it by 1. Here Chicago leads it 7-0. The Bears scored on their opening drive, a 2-yard run by Neil Anderson, an 84-yard drive, the highlight of which was a 41-yard pass from Harbaugh to Neil Anderson. The injured player for Chicago now, as Phoenix has a 1st and 10 at the Chicago 41, is Donnell Wolford.
Yeah, and he gets the whole pile right on top of him, and it appears that it's his left knee as he grabs for it right now. There he's planted. Yeah, oh, that hurts. Wolford's just a little guy at about 185 pounds, and he had about 500-600 pounds coming right on top of him, and that doesn't look good. But what a move by Johnny Johnson on Mike Singletary. Bears had a blitz coming. Singletary had Johnson Single covered outside. Rosenbaugh went to the right guy, but Singletary had the coverage on him, and Johnson just showed him what he has and went right by him.
Steve Walsh was benched in that game. Miami wins big over Indianapolis. They continue to tend with Donnell Wolford.
You know, watching that Philadelphia finish, looks like Chris Carter left some old tricks of his when he was released by the Eagles. That looked just like a lot of plays Carter made. In fact, last year against the Cowboys in the Bounty Bowl 1.
That's right. Wolford in obvious pain with that injured left knee. And they will bring the stretcher out to assist Donnell Wolford into the Chicago Bear locker room. Bestie Jackson will come in and take his place. While they tend to Donnell Wolford, time has been called. Chicago leads it 7-0. Sun Devil Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona. Donnell Wolford, the injured Chicago Bear, has been taken to the sideline. The problem with his left knee. Bestie Jackson has taken his place. Phoenix with a 1st and 10 at the 41. Walter Reeves, the tight end, starts in motion. Roll out by Rosenbaugh. Chased by Singletary, and Singletary has him. Well, 2 weeks ago, Tim Rosenbaugh was not sacked by the Dallas Cowboys, and he bought his offensive line black snakeskin boots. That will not be the case after this game.
Well, no, but Mike Singletary is not going to let somebody out of his sights twice in a row. Johnson made the good move. Rosenbaugh almost got away from him on that play. But interesting, the Bears are down with one less defensive back, and the Cardinals go right away to 3 wide receivers, and they're throwing the ball.
2nd down and 16, 7-0, Chicago on top. Again, the 3 wide receiver set. Here's Johnny Johnson, and he's stuffed. Singletary a part of it, along with William Perry.
Well, number 72 is William Perry. Watch how quick he penetrates and makes this play. The block from Lance Smith, he just pushes him aside and goes right after Johnson and knocks him down. One thing you got to watch with Fridge is this heat, but rotating tackles with Hampton and McMichael will help him.
On 3rd down, Rosenbaugh across the middle, caught by Ricky Prohl, dropped by Ricky Prohl. The 3rd round draft choice, rookie out of Wake Forest, can't hang on. And that will bring on Rich Camarillo to punt as the Phoenix drive stalls inside Chicago country.
Rosenbaugh threw a pretty good pass that time, but my question is, if Prohl makes a grab, he's still 8 yards shy of the 1st down.
Camarillo on to punt with a 43.8 yards average. Johnny Bailey is back to return it, the rookie out of Texas A&I. Bailey with an average of 9.1 return this year. And at long last, we're going to be set. There's Pat Haggerty's whistle. 7:35 to go, opening quarter. First time Chicago has played here since Phoenix moved here from St. Louis. Johnny Kawhi snaps it back. Camarillo, fair catch called by Bailey, and he makes the grab at the 14-yard line. 7:27 to go, 1st quarter. A 32-yard punt by Rich Camarillo. Chicago has a 1st down and 10 at the 15-yard line, and they lead it 7-0 on a 2-yard touchdown run by Neil Anderson. Toss it to Anderson. This time he's driven down short of the 1st down at the 23-yard line. Tackle is made by Garth Jacks, number 53.
Well, this is why Bugle wants the 3-4 defense. He wants to get these 4 linebackers involved. Number 58 is Eric Hill, and here comes Garth Jacks, number 53, to make the tackle. In essence, what you have is 2, obviously, middle linebackers that are responsible for a guy like Singletary that has to do the job of 2 men in 1. But a good job up front by Waller, keeping the offensive line off the interior linebackers, that results in that play there.
3-man front now again for Phoenix on a 3rd and 2 for Chicago. Thornton starts in motion. Harbaugh slips it inside to Gentry, and Gentry's got the first down plus. Dennis Gentry. Jim Waller with the tackle. And now Gentry, having provided his service as a 3rd down specialist, heads back over to the bench.
Well, we saw him block for Anderson's touchdown run, but he is so valuable because he can play out there, he can return kicks as he did the opening one of the game, and then on 3rd down, picks up that first down.
1st and 10, Chicago from the 32. Jim Waller, one-time nose tackle at UCLA. He's thrilled to be back in what he considers his natural position with this change to the 3-4. Fumble, Harbaugh picks it up. Being chased and caught. Garth Jacks, who 2 weeks ago got his first interception of his NFL career, gets his first sack of the season.
Well, what happens when Harbaugh drops this ball, the man responsible for blocking Jacks is distracted, and Jacks just comes on a delayed blitz. You know, he's the one guy of that group that's not a first-round pick. You know, Eric Hill is, Anthony Bell and Ken Harvey. Jacks says he's a double 1 pick. He was drafted in the 11th round.
By the Dallas Cowboys, and then came here as a Plan B signee a year ago. And he is really the recipient of the benefits of this 3-4 because he's got a starting job now. Didn't have one before.
Absolutely.
2nd and 17. Harbaugh straight drop back. Harvey coming. Little flip out to Neil Anderson. Gets a good block. And then works his way to the 35-yard line. Lonnie Young with the tackle. Gain of 10 yards.
We had a great confrontation on the flank there after Anderson makes this grab. All-pro safety Tim McDonald comes up, and Anderson gave him a little left-right move and went right by him. But that's all-pro against all-pro.
After the gain of 10, that leaves it with a 3rd down and 7. 4:22 to go, first quarter. Bears lead it by 7. Johnny Bailey has come into the backfield now for Chicago. 3 wide receivers. Wendell Davis starts in motion this side. Harbaugh back. For Gentry, short of the first down. See where the spot is. It will be short by a yard.
You watch Gentry, and he knew it as soon as he caught the ball and was tackled. He's trying to get a first down call out of there, but as you can tell, he is a yard short, and that's a crucial mistake for Gentry, not getting enough yardage with his pattern to pick up the first down.
So on 4th and 1, Maury Buford comes on to punt, and by Sikahema waits at the 15-yard line. Sikahema with a 9.6 yards per return average. Buford just under 40 yards. There's by Sikahema. Poor punt, but it gets a great Chicago roll. At the 7, Sikahema. And he gets back only to the 9, a 53-yard punt. 4 on the return. Phoenix has the football. This afternoon, but there is a breeze, as you can tell by the movement of those mobiles in the background. However, the wind is still just above the goalpost. And now Phoenix will be going into the breeze with their 2nd possession of the first quarter, trailing by 7. Ron Wolford gets it's Johnson again. Johnny Johnson. Wolford has made an appearance in the lineup, and Johnson knocked down after a modest gain of 1.
Real nice job of Sean Gale coming up, and he stares face to face with Johnson right about here to the outside. Unblocked, fine tackle in the open field.
Johnson at 6'2", 216. Sean Gale at 5'11", 194. And Johnny Johnson picked in the 7th round from San Jose State, dismissed from that football team midway through last season. Johnson circles to his right, wants to throw the ball, and it's going to be picked off. Intercepted and returned to the 20-yard line by Mark Carrier, his 2nd pick of the season. An ill-advised decision by Johnny Johnson leads to the interception by Carrier and a return of 14.
Well, Johnson is just carrying out the play that was called by Jerry Rome. I really question this call. Backed up against your own goal line, and you're running an option play with a guy wearing gloves who probably is not that good a thrower without gloves on. Pressure from Trace Armstrong, and there's just no way J.T. Smith could have this ball. Carrier picks up his 2nd interception of the year.
After the turnover, first down at the 20, Cardinals did not turn the ball over at all last week in their loss to New York. Chicago already up by 7. Audible by Jim Harbaugh sends Muster in motion, and then they work the play to Neil Anderson with a lot of running room on the left side. Down to the 13. Lonnie Young with the tackle, number 43.
You know, Joe Bugle's pretty famous for this play. This is the counter gap that they used to run in Washington. The key are these two fellas, Thayer and Van Horn, getting out in front of Anderson. There's the counter move. And now Neil Anderson is behind 2 big bodies heading straight up the field towards the goal line.
2nd down. 3 yards needed for the first. A 7-0 Chicago lead, possibly to become more. Anderson again with Mustard blocking. This time he is tripped up and caught short of the first down at the 11-yard line. Anthony Bell makes the tackle, number 55. 9.2 yards per play already, helped in no small measure, Dan, by those 3 big plays in the opening drive.
Well, right now, you know, the Cardinals felt so confident about this new defense. Well, the Bears have seen this type of defense from the Green Bay Packers in particular. The way they use Tim Harris is the same way the Cardinals want to use Ken Harvey. So the Bears know exactly what they want to do. Plus, they have some real talented offensive linemen that are controlling that line of scrimmage.
3rd and 1. Boso starts in motion. Anderson again. That'll be good for the first down inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal after Freddie Joe Nunn. Number 78 makes the tackle. Interesting talking with Mike Ditka yesterday about this defense. He said, well, they call it a 3-4, but it's really a gap defense with some elements of the old flex from the Cowboys.
Yeah, and the real key to it for Bugle is Ken Harvey and his ability to disrupt things in the backfield. But Ditka says, hey, the guy only weighs 220 pounds. If my tackle, Jim Covert, at 280 can't handle him, then Covert's in trouble. Well, it looks right now that Jimbo is doing the job just fine for Ditka.
Harvey had that big game against the Giants last week, but Jumbo Elliott at left tackle had just a horrible game against him. Quarter's about to end. We're going to move 91 yards to the other end of the field. That's the end of the first quarter with our score. The Chicago Bears 7, the Phoenix Cardinals nothing. We have a full house at Sun Devil Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona. The game is not being televised locally. The sellout, if indeed it did occur, did not occur until today. But it will be the largest crowd to ever watch the Cardinals since they moved here 2.5 years ago. Their only sellout here was their opening game, a Monday night encounter against Dallas. And they've had problems since then. And a lot of these folks, quite frankly, are transplanted Chicagoans, as is true in any retirement area. A lot of folks from the north will come down here. But very important for Phoenix to play well against this bunch. And Chicago has owned this game thus far.
I'm sure that in the back of Ditka's mind is the fact that he's never beaten the Cardinals. One of 2 teams in the NFL that he hasn't beaten. Of course, he's only played them twice. The other team, of course, the powerhouse San Diego Chargers, who beat Ditka 1 time in their only meeting. So Ditko'd like to erase that mark here today, of course, against the Cardinals.
We've got a delay. They are talking to the replay booth, and I'm not at all sure what about. Bob Wagner, the umpire, is on the phones with Grover Clemmer, the replay official. So we are delayed while that conversation takes place, and it still is. Grover Clemmer up here in the booth, 15 stories up. There's Bob Wagner. We're told it's a problem with the equipment from the field to the replay booth.
Wouldn't that be terrible if we didn't have to have any replay decisions today?
Break your heart, wouldn't it?
Do they think that I might have unplugged the machine?
We might get out of here in under 3.5 hours.
It's okay, guys. It's okay. Let's just play the game. You know, we got a football out there. We got these guys, and they got hard hats and pads on. We don't need a replay thing to play this game. On it, we don't.
This political message brought to you just prior to the elections by Daniel Fouts. Well, we mentioned Grover Clemmer is way up here. So are we. There you go.
Can I say, hi, Mom?
170 feet above the field.
You notice, everybody, that we had to stand up and kind of lean out. Well, we're sitting on these stools here with our seat belts on. This is up there.
Oxygen mask just behind us. It is the highest booth in the National Football League. Very comfortable. Those guys are getting a little more sun than we are. That's overlooking Sun Devil Stadium. ASU plays here, of course. They lost to Southern Cal yesterday. And this conversation is continuing. A problem with the equipment connecting the replay booth to the officiating crew. San Diego has scored again. 31-yard pass from Tolliver to Miller, and they're up 14-0 over the Bucks.
Well, you know the Bear fans are rooting for that one. Bucks are only a game and a half behind Chicago in the NFC Central. This is really ridiculous. Now, we've been waiting to play this ball game here for about 5 minutes. The referees are trying to get the replay equipment working. Players are standing down there on the field saying, hey, we're football players. Can't we play what we're supposed to be doing here? And it's 94 degrees, 100 on the field.
I think you and I would advocate a 2-minute limit on time allowed to fix the equipment and then get on with it. Yeah, they went a little over the 2-minute limit. But apparently they've got it solved and we're set to go. Pat Haggerty is the referee today. Bob Wagner the umpire. And Jim Harbaugh is getting set to go back to work. Harbaugh said he spent the week off going back to Ann Arbor and went to homecoming at Michigan. And he's got that big chin strap. Dan, what's the purpose of that?
Well, it's a hard covered plastic right there, the dark part of that chin strap, and that's just extra protection. I'm sure that Jim has been hit in the chin in his career, and this is one way to keep those stitches from happening under that chin.
Well, when he gets to hollering the cadence, that jaw really moves. First and goal from the 10. We're set to get back to football. Anderson hit and dropped after a modest gain. Tim McDonald got there. Joe Bugel said of Tim McDonald yesterday, he is a rare talent.
Well, and what McDonald does here is he doesn't allow Anderson to get to the outside. You'll watch Neal bounce it to the outside. He wanted to go inside of Muster's block there, but Freddie Joe Nunn shut it down, and then McDonald comes up with the sure tackle.
We are told now that the communications from replay booth to field is available only through a telephone or a walkie-talkie. This could be interesting. They may resort to flashing mirrors or semaphore flag. Second and goal from the 8. Harbaugh, draw play, Mustard at the 4-yard line. Eric Hill up on top, number 58.
What we're seeing a lot from Chicago on offense, a lot of misdirection, counter type of plays. Cardinals with the active linebackers, they flow extremely well. Chicago wants to take advantage of that and cut back against the grain.
Eric Hill, one of the 3 number 1s from LSU. He's probably the quietest of the bunch. Anthony Bell, Eric Hill, Garth Jacks, Ken Harvey. Now they come out. The nickel defense comes in on 3rd and goal from the 4. 7-0. Bears lead it. 13:25 to go first half. They slip it inside, and Gentry is stopped short of the touchdown. Fourth and goal from the 1. Tim McDonald again.
Well, Gentry had a shot at it, but he's only about 180 pounds. And when he gets hit, he doesn't go any further. Right there, that's the end of the line. Tim McDonald stands him up and gets help from his friends just short of the goal line. Number 46 is McDonald. Watch the great form tackle there. Stands up Gentry and keeps the Bears out of the end zone.
Tim McDonald, one of the long line of outstanding safeties at Southern California. Mark Carrier, another on that list, is on the other side of the ball. Time has been called.
They struggle for you. Football League is sponsored by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We build excitement. The employee owners of Avis, we're trying harder than ever. And by Bud Light, everything else is just a light.
4th down and less than a foot, and the Bears will go for it, and they've got the large man in the backfield, William Refrigerator Perry, who has rushed one time this year for -1 yard, and whose last touchdown came in the Super Bowl in 1985. And the Fridge is in the huddle and has reported. Now, will he be the ball carrier or the blocking back? Less than a foot for the touchdown. Ditka looks like he's seeking divine guidance. It's Muster and Perry in the backfield. Perry anchored heavily to the right side. Option play. Harbaugh, touchdown.
Well, this is a triple option. The first option, although I don't think very seriously that Harbaugh thought of giving Perry the ball, but that's his first read right there. He steps right inside McDonald, drags him across. Harbaugh could have done one of two things there. He could have pitched it to Muster for the easy touchdown, but he took it in himself.
Butler's extra point is up, and it's good. So Jim Harbaugh capitalizes on the pass interception return of Mark Carrier, and the Bears are up by 14. With an outstanding running game, and they've not done anything to diminish that reputation. Phoenix having problems on the ground, and the Bears 130-22, and they lead 14-0. Let's go back and take a look at that touchdown. After the kickoff, 14-0.
You know, the Bears have 80 yards rushing already. They're averaging a league high 164, so they're having their way with this one so far today.
They go 84 yards for one touchdown, 20 yards for the other. And Kevin Butler will kick it 8 to either Flagler or Sakahima. By Sakahima at the 1. Out to the 24-yard line. Now the triple option.
Yeah, you don't think William Perry attracts attention. This is Ken Harvey, and this is Anthony Bell. And watch out, it's the first part of this triple option. These two linebackers are going to just come up and make sure. Eric Hill, number 58. There's the touchdown by Harbaugh stretching across. But that's really good use of your personnel. Harbaugh is an excellent runner, ran that play many times at the University of Michigan, whereas the Cardinals set up that touchdown with a poor play selection with Johnny Johnson throwing the interception.
Now Rosenbaugh has the Cardinals with 1st and 10, trailing by 14. He's being chased. He's dropped. And the first man there was Ron Cox. And then John Roper came in, number 54, with the immediate penetration. And Rosenbaugh down for the second time. There's Ron Cox. Mike Ditka said yesterday, we're starting Morrissey and Rivera on the outside, but someday Cox and John Roper are going to be outstanding football players.
Cox, of course, the rookie who came out a year early from Fresno State. But Roper is a real good athlete as well. And now what Ditka's trying to do is he's trying to bury the Cardinals.
2nd down and 20. 14-0. Chicago up. Trying to go 6-1 for the year. Rosenbaugh back. Flushed out of the pocket. Fires it on the run. Ricky Prohl with a first down. Plus yardage to the 45. Prohl on the crossing pattern. And a gain of 30.
That's really Rosenbaugh's strength is his ability to move around in the pocket and to throw on the run. He remembers the sack of the last play. He gets out of there right away from Perry, right on the run. Perfect pass to Prohl. And that's the Cardinals' first big play on offense.
That's a gain of 30 and a first down at the 45-yard line. 11:50 to go in the first half. First down and 10. Toss to Johnson, chased by Dent, and that provides help in the form of Sean Gale, number 23, who comes up and makes the tackle. By the way, Dan, we have an updated injury report on Donnell Wolford. A sprained ankle and a pulled groin. He will not return, but that's not as bad as it looked.
Well, both those things are on either side of the knee. It appeared that it was his knee, but that's a 2-for-1 injury. A lot easier to come back from a sprained ankle and a pulled groin than a destroyed knee, as it appeared it was.
Loss of 5 for Johnson on the last play. Second down, 15. Blitz coming from Singletary. Rosenbaughh, nice pass. Ernie Jones, the third-year man from Indiana University. And a gain of 17.
Well, Rosenbaughh is going to stand tough in this pocket this time. He sees the blitz coming, knows he has single coverage on the outside, comes down sidearm a little bit and throws a nice pass to Jones. And he's showing, Rosenbaughh is showing his competitive fire right now, bouncing back from that sack, completing 2 passes in a row.
Joe Bugle said, I know you won't believe this, but we must throw the ball more today. He wanted to get Roy Green and J.T. Smith involved. The veteran wide receivers, it's been Prohl and Jones so far. That's Prohl in motion. Rosenbaughh back, being chased again, sacked to the in the grasp. And here will be Dan Fouts discussing his version of this rule.
Well, William Perry's going to get credit for it, but Rosenbaughh doesn't believe it. The rule says grasp and control, and that's what makes up a sack. Well, how can you have a sack without control? Sure, you can have grasp, but the problem is you have these 2 words in the description. There's no way that was a sack because Perry never controlled Rosenbaughh. Sure, he grabs him. Watch this. Number 72 will spin him around. There's the grasp, but you tell me where's the control? Nowhere. As strong and as big as William Perry is, and as small and weak as Tim Rosenbaughh is, there's no control there. That shouldn't be a sack.
Goes in the books as 1 at 2nd and 19. Rosenbaughh darts to the outside, pulls up and has a man open and almost has it picked off. Oh, he had Johnson all by himself at the 35-yard line, but he couldn't get it over Singletary.
You know, he was coming close to the line of scrimmage. I'm sure in the back of his mind he's wondering, how far is that line of scrimmage? He's trying to get his wide receiver to go wide, and then he throws an end-over-ender that Singletary, all Singletary sees, there's 4 corners coming at him, and he can't make that grab. But Rosenbaughh, he's fired up out there. Singletary can't believe it. That would have been his first pick of the year.
3rd and 19, a 14-0 ball game, 9:32 to go, first half. Bill Lewis over the ball in front of Rosenbaughh. Has a man, tip, incomplete. Into triple coverage at the 35-yard line. It'll be 4th down. Vesty Jackson, number 24, who's playing in place of the injured Donnell Wolford, the first to make contact with the ball.
You go back to that sack of Perry's, and you see how it affected Rosenbaughh and the play selection from Jerry Rome, the Cardinals offensive coordinator. Hard to make up 9 yards, got to throw the ball, so that takes the Cardinals out of what they want to do.
That brings on Rich Camarillo. Johnny Bailey is back to return it at the 10-yard line. Nice punt. Flag is down. Bailey has it. Tripped up as he gets to the 17-yard line. Check the infraction back at the 40. If the play stands, a 41-yard punt and 6 on the return. Michael Zordich made the tackle.
Two different flags, so we may have one call against each team here.
We have an ineligible man downfield on the offense, holding on the defense. We're going to replay the down.
That's easy for you to say. He could be an analyst.
50-year-old Joe Bugle, offensive coordinator, assistant head coach of the Washington Redskins. Born and raised in the Pittsburgh area, where he and Mike Ditka faced each other in a high school all-star game back in the late 50s.
I wonder if back in the 50s if they wore their hair the same way they're wearing it today. I bet you they both had crew cuts.
Crew cuts and ducktails. You bet.
I can't see ducktail, pal. Sorry.
4th down. And Camarillo back to punt again. Bailey, fair catch, will let it bounce. Another flag is down. The ball will be coming out to the 20 if the play stands, but an infusion of yellow.
This may be holding against the Bears again, trying to hold up the gunner, the outside man on the line of scrimmage, trying to get down under the punt. They're one of the two guys that can go right now without having to wait for the ball to be kicked. It was thrown in the same area as the previous play.
By the same man. That's the back judge, Tom Sifferman. It's always been my favorite part of a football game.
Well, I tell you, as a player, it's unbelievable. Here you're out there, and you can't understand why these men can't figure it out. Everybody on the field knows, the players know. In fact, there are times as a player that you feel that you can referee the game better. Just play it. You know, okay, well, that one was against us.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the kicking team, going out of bounds and not coming back in soon enough. Declining the penalty, 1st down.
Boy, that's a no-no. That's one of the bigger no-nos I recall. You got to get back inbound soon enough. Time has been called. Heavens to Betsy. 9:03 to go in the 1st half. Back to return yet another punt. Those of you who can't get quite enough of the punting game will have a 3rd opportunity on this series. The penalty was marked off against Phoenix, 15 yards, for running out of bounds and not coming back soon enough. And so after the 15-yard penalty, Rich Camarillo is back to punt for the 3rd time. And this one very short. Bailey with a fair catch, bobbles it, scramble for the ball. Chicago comes up with it at the 33. Johnny Bailey has had problems throughout this season hanging on to the football. And the Cardinals are claiming that they have the ball. They came up with it. But the officials are saying, no, it's Chicago's.
Well, Camarillo's kick is a knuckleball. Watch how Bailey, at the last minute, decides for the fair catch, and he stopped running and tried to catch the ball between his knees almost. Early call indicating that the Bears recovered that one. A lot of biting and scratching at the bottom of that pile. That was a tough kick to handle.
And the Cardinals, Ron Wolfley was still out on the field, finally gets off. It'll be 1st down at the 33. Play fake by Harbaugh. Deep right side, wide open, Ron Morris. Gets by the last defender. Touchdown, no flags.
Well, 1st down, play action. The Bears go 67 yards in one play. No coverage at all on Morris. Jay Taylor slips down. There goes McDonald down. Beautiful move by Morris. Easy touchdown for the Bears. And they are really trying to establish something here today, not only for the Cardinals, but for the rest of the league, saying, hey, last year, no way, this is a brand new ball club.
Butler will try the extra point. Tomzak will hold. Well, they've done it 3 different ways. An 84-yard drive, a 20-yard drive after an interception, and a 67-yard pass. 21-zip. The game to be televised in your area. 21-0. It has been all Chicago. Sikahima from 2 yards deep. Tackled at the 17. Now let's watch this play-action pass, Jim Harbaugh, to a wide-open Ron Morris.
And at the end of it is a beautiful pirouette by Ron Morris. McDonald running extremely hard. He couldn't slam on the brakes in time, and that's just a thing of beauty there.
67 yards, second touchdown of the year for Ron Morris. He had one of 40 yards against Green Bay back in week 2. And this defensive team trying to collect its thoughts and its talents and find some way of halting what's been going on. In the meantime, an off-tackle run for a couple of yards. Ron Rivera makes the stop on Johnny Johnson.
And you mentioned earlier, Verne, that Bugle wants to throw the ball more today. Well, he's not going to have much choice. You're down 21-0 with 8 minutes to go in the second period. The problem is the Cardinal offensive line hasn't been able to protect Rosenbaugh long enough to allow him time to get something done down the field.
Got to be a big disappointment to that man after the emotional game in New York last week. Here's Rosenbaugh. Trace Armstrong just misses him, and Rosenbaugh throws it out of bounds. Whether by intent or not, I'm not sure. Tim Rosenbaugh, whose mother Rosie is here from Montana to watch the game today. Tim, an off-season resident of Flathead Lake, Montana, up near Glacier National Park.
Yeah, I asked Mrs. Rosenbaugh if she had to do any of Tim's dirty laundry, and she said, unbelievable. No, I came earlier this year, and his whole apartment was just full of dirty laundry, and I had to do it all. But I guess Tim has found the number of the dry cleaner.
Terrence Flagler in the lineup on 3rd down and 9. Off the back foot. That's going to be caught, but way short of the first down. And the Cardinals will have to punt. Ricky Prohl with the catch. And Rosenbaugh got his laundry dirty again.
Well, the Bears are going to be able to do everything they can in their playbook right now to put pressure. Look at the stunts. Hampton gets through. McMichael circles around. He knocks the quarterback. There's Dent coming from the outside. Everything the Bears are doing on offense is working. Everything they're doing on defense is successful.
Been an education for Tim Rosenbaugh and his Cardinal teammates. And Johnny Bailey is back to try and hang on to this punt. He's at the 40-yard line. Camarillo back at the 5. Return is on all the way. And a blessing for us all. There are no flags. Bailey has it. And he's down at the 33. Good special teams work. Michael Zordich was down there, number 38. 21-zip with 7:04 remaining on a very hot day in Phoenix in the first half. Full house on hand. Well, at least half of them are stunned. The other half are Chicago Bear fans, and Tim Rosenbaugh having a tough afternoon as Chicago leads at 21-zip.
He's been sacked 3 times. You notice this flap on the back of his jersey. That's his name tag. That's the type of reaction you expect to see. The Bears are ripping the name right off his shirt.
Been that kind of a day for Rosenbaugh, sacked 3 times thus far. Harbaugh, his counterpart, has been perfect. 4 of 4, 124 yards, passes of 41 and 67 already. Draw play, and this time Neil Anderson gets across the 35 near the 36-yard line. Tackle is made by Lonnie Young.
Key block on that play is from number 57, Tom Thayer. There he is at right guard here, coming across. And watch how Anderson just keeps fighting for yardage after he comes in contact with the Cardinals. There's the kick out by Thayer on Harvey, but Anderson never stops his feet. Thayer never stops either, and it's about a 7-yard gain.
Little less than that. It's a gain of 4 by where they spot the ball, so it'll be 2nd and 6. 21-0, 6:20 to go, first half. This time it's Brad Muster who spins out of a tackle at the 40 and manages to pick up 3 additional yards. Flags fly as a tussle breaks out at the 45-yard line. Van Horn is way downfield. I'm not sure who the participants were at the 45.
Well, it was a wide receiver and a defensive back. Tim McDonald was involved in it. There you see he is separated from the pile, but Van Horn, he was way down the field, wasn't he?
Yeah.
About 30 yards.
Jay Taylor may have been in part of it. Well, Pat Haggerty, I believe, indicated it was against McDonald. Yep, against the Cardinals. It started one play before this.
Personal foul.
Here's Haggerty.
Number 46.
That's Morrison.
First
and
down.
you think that McDonald remembers the play, how on Morris's touchdown, how he was embarrassed on the tackle. That was the play before, and then they erupted the very next play, and McDonald gets caught.
So Chicago now 41 yards away. It's 21-0 already with 5:50 to go first half. Harbaugh with no pressure at all. Settles short for Neil Anderson at the 37-yard line. Brad Muster, rather.
It seems that we talk to coaches all around the league, and they always say, well, we're going to have to run the ball so that we can establish the pass afterwards. And the Bears are doing it today probably better than anybody has. Last game against the Rams, they threw the ball very effectively. That offensive line now, if they're not careful, they're going to get a reputation as being good pass blockers as well.
Well, it is the veteran offensive line of the Bears, with the exception of Jay Hilgenberg, who is ill today. Jerry Fontenot has taken his spot. Play fake, Harbaugh settles short. Anderson, that will be close for the first down at the 32 or the 31. We'll see where the spot comes. Jim Waller, number 66, with the tackle. This has been a thorough dismantling in the first half.
Well, you got to remember, the Bears had the last 2 weeks off. They haven't played since they beat the Rams, and what a performance that was. You put this game back-to-back with that showing, and people around the league are going to start mentioning that the Bears are just as good as the Giants and the 49ers.
3rd and 1 now. 4:25 to go. 21-0. Chicago with the ball at the 32-yard line. Boso in motion. Anderson cuts back again. First down inside the 30 to the 28. Well, you know, we talked with Ditka and Harbaugh and various others yesterday, and you told me you had a sense they didn't really respect the Cardinals.
No, I think they just have so much confidence in this man right here, Neil Anderson. Watch the power cut right there as he cuts back, head straight up the field. They're having their way on the ground. They're having their way through the air and on defense. And they're just a very confident team. I'm not sure that they don't respect the Cardinals, but they respect their own ability so much more.
1st and 10, Chicago, 3.5 to go. Muster to the 16-yard line. That's a gain of 10.
Hilgenberg is out, but Fontenot is number 67 at center, and sometimes that will change an offensive line, but these guys have played together so long and they played together so well that they can put a guy, substitute one for another, and not have any drop off at all. Fontenot for Hilgenberg right now, surprise starter and participant.
104 yards on the ground in the first half. There is Jerry Fontenot, second-year man from Texas A&M. He was a 3rd-round draft choice last year. And getting a chance to play because Jay Hilgenberg became ill last night. Clock winds down. Harbaugh signals timeout with 2:45 to go. 21-zip. Chicago has used its 2nd timeout. Now, Jim Harbaugh said yes, yet last week was his best game as a pro. You get a sense that this is his team yet, though, Dan?
It's getting real close. I mean, it's Neil Anderson's ball club, but a quarterback still has to perform, maybe not at that level, but darn close to it, because there's so many things that Harbaugh has to do. He is on a roll right now. Obviously, 6 for 6, 133 yards. Dare we say Air Ditka? But getting back to whether it's his team, he has the respect of his fellow teammates because, number one, he's a tough guy. And if you play for the Chicago Bears and if you play quarterback, you got to be a tough guy because everybody else is, or at least they all talk about being tough. But of course, their coach is a renowned bully, tough guy. But I really am impressed with the job that Harbaugh has done, not only today, but the entire season.
Jim Harbaugh, whose grandfather is here watching the game today, now lives in retirement in Prescott, Arizona, said, "Did you get your tickets through Jim?" He said, "No, he can't get me good seats here. I got a buddy who can get me seats on the 40-yard line." So he is in attendance and no doubt enjoying what he has seen today. Muster circles to the right, broken tackle, missed tackle. Really, it's first and goal. Poor tackling by the Cardinals. Anthony Bell finally catches up with him.
We've seen a lot of cutback running by Anderson and Muster, but this really is a missed tackle. Brad Muster isn't this nifty. It's the linebacker out there, and that's Garth Jackson. Muster sees that goal line, and he's rolling now.
Brad Muster with 56 yards to complement the 50 that Anderson has on the ground.
Well, and you see him starting to rub his back. Neil Anderson is starting to rub it for him as well. That's kind of scary for Chicago fans.
We have reached the 2-minute warning, and the Chicago Bears have a first and goal from the 3, and they already lead by 21.
The leading score goes at Hinkley and Schmidt.
Did twist his back just a little bit at the end of this run. Anthony Bell, number 55, will come and make the tackle, and watch how Muster lands on his left hip and really jars himself there.
Brad Muster, whose alma mater, Stanford, was waxed by the Oregon Ducks 31-0 yesterday, and he was reminded of that fact on the field before the game by a former quarterback of the Oregon Ducks named Fouts. Didn't seem to appreciate it.
I got him fired up for the game, though, didn't I?
Sure did. First and goal from the 3. Yeah, Bozo, one of 3 tight ends, is the motion man. The handoff, this will be a stroll in the park. It's 27-0. Neil Anderson's second touchdown of the day.
Well, this is Bear football off left tackle behind Covert. There's Bortz coming outside. Good block by Muster. And there's just no pursuit at all by the Cardinals. They're all cut down at the line of scrimmage. Lonnie Young gives himself up. And that's another easy touchdown for Chicago.
Butler with the extra point. With 1:56 still remaining in the first half of play, Chicago has upped its lead to 4 touchdowns. 2 minutes to go first half, 1:56. The Bears have erupted for 21 points in quarter number 2, and they're out 28-0. And everything has gone right from a Chicago perspective with a full house on hand. Coming up at halftime, Greg and Terry with scores and highlights from around the National Football League. Number of games going on right now, and of course the game decided earlier this afternoon. Minnesota falls to 1-6. Neil Anderson with 2 touchdowns today, 66 yards in 8 plays. They chewed 5 minutes and 8 seconds off the clock. Johnny Rowland, the running back coach, talking with Neil Anderson. I'm sure he's not offering advice, just congratulations. Flagler and Sikahema are deep. This will be Sikahema again. And he's out to the 25-yard line. Kozlowski and David Tate going for the ball. And Glenn Kozlowski and Vi Sikahema will tap on the helmet. Well, the Phoenix Cardinals are looking for some way to cool down the Chicago Bears. Can you think of anything?
Well, I think the ground crew had a good idea. Oh, my goodness. This is just before the game, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw somebody hit the sprinkler switch right about now.
Joe Bugle might lead the way. Give me the ground crew and find out where the sprinkler switch is. Rosenbaugh back, left side, incomplete. and the Cardinals still looking for options. Rod Sadler. Defensive end. Rosenbaugh looks over.
Well, you wonder how much that close loss to the Giants last week has taken out of this ball club. They really should have won the game. Gave up 10 points in the last 3 minutes or so to lose 20-19. They are just so flat today. They're getting whipped everywhere.
And one feels for the Cardinal organization because they have this big crowd here. That pass complete to Ricky Prohl. That'll be short of the first down at the 36-yard line. Or Roy Green it is. I beg your pardon. Roy Green instead of Prohl. And with that catch, Roy Green earns yet another record in the Cardinal history book.
He moves into first place in all-time yardage for a receiver. Out pattern. Good job by Rosenbaugh throwing a good pass. The hand you here is for Roy Green.
He needed, excuse me, Dan, he needed 6 yards to go beyond Jackie Smith, and he had earlier this season defeated Jackie Smith in number of catches, or surpassed Jackie Smith, not defeated him. So Roy Green with yet another mark. There's Johnny Johnson on the carry to the 43. They'll go in the hurry-up offense now. Green with 7,922 yards. Rosenbaugh down the middle for Prohl. Nice catch! And a little spark remains in the Cardinals. They have a first down at the 25, and Rosenbaugh calls timeout.
Well, Ricky Prohl, he may catch a lot of balls for the Cardinals if he keeps doing this. Rosenbaugh throwing right down the middle. There's number 87. Watch the layout here and the catch in the bare hands. You see a lot of players wearing gloves these days. Prohl doesn't have them on. He's got the sticky fingers all by himself.
3 catches for 61 yards, and the first-year man out of Wake Forest came in as the leading receiver for the Cardinals with 21 this year.
And he has 2 guys on the ball club that can really help him in Roy Green and J.T. Smith. Both of them have caught 1 million passes, it seems, over the years. And Prohl is just fitting right into that Cardinal receiving corps. Very important for the Cardinals, if they have any chance at all today, to go in for 6 here, not settle for any field goal. But this is not an area on the field where they have excelled this year. They've had all kinds of trouble scoring in the positive end here. The red zone, red area, whatever you want to call it, it hasn't been kind to Phoenix this year.
Rosenbaugh thus far with 6 of 11 for 96 yards. 1/3 of it on that last play. From the 25 with 1:09 to go in the half, and the Cardinals have 2 timeouts left. Offside. Free play now for the Phoenix Cardinals. That catch made by J.T. Smith. He's hauled down at the 19. Let's see where they're going to put forward progress will be. Yeah, down at the 15-yard line. Richard Dent was the man who jumped.
Offside, defense, decline.
So that'll be 2nd down and 1.
And Rosenbaugh has had a lot of success with the hard count. Last week against the Giants, he was very successful drawing them off sides, as he did that time with Richard Dent.
2nd and 1, 1:02 remaining. Roll to the left, pulls up, lets it go, caught at the 5. Ricky Prohl again. The clock did not start after they, I looked at that. It was stuck at 1:02, and it never started after they declined the penalty on a completed pass in the last 5 minutes.
Well, I guess we know that the timekeeper is a Cardinal fan. That's the way it's supposed to work, though. You're playing at home, and you're supposed to have those type of breaks from the clock and the statisticians, everybody, especially when you're down 28-0.
Now the Cardinals have used their 2nd timeout, so only 3 seconds elapsed when the clock, in fact, should have been started the minute Haggerty whistled that things were back in play. 1st and goal from the 5 now. Rosenbaugh, Joe Bugle,
Well, you think back to the first quarter when the Cardinals ran that halfback option pass when the score was 7-0. Still, they were running the ball well. Johnson was running well. They called the play. Trace Armstrong came in and put a lot of pressure on Johnny Johnson. He threw up a bad pass. Carrier picked it off, and the Bears were on their way.
That was a 20-yard drive for the second touchdown of the game, and they have since added 2 more. And right now they've got a first and goal with 59 seconds officially left. Into the flat. Johnny Johnson gets to the 3. Cardinals will hurry as the clock continues to run. It's at 45 seconds now. Second down. Clock has stopped at 37 seconds. Some confusion among the officiating crew. Rosenbaugh, right, left, in trouble, into the end zone. Touchdown, J.T. Smith. That's his first touchdown grab of 1990.
Outstanding job by Rosenbaugh. Looks to his right for the quick fade pattern. It's not there. Back to the left. And now, what am I going to do? Trace Armstrong breathing down his neck. He finds J.T. Smith in the back of the end zone. Cardinals are on the board. And Rosenbaugh has to be a happy fella. Beautiful drive. Big catch by Prohl down the middle. Nice play by Rosenbaugh on the touchdown to J.T. Smith.
Al Del Greco will try the extra point out of Tom Tupa's goal. So something has gone right for the Cardinals. They get the touchdown. The 13-year veteran gets his first grab of the season. Chicago's lead now cut to 21 points in the final 23 seconds. It's going to be a 3/4 moon over the Arizona Valley tonight. Moon is already up. Scoring drive of 73 yards in 1:33, and Tim Rosenbaugh looked sharp.
Sharp, 6 in a row. The big catch by Prohl down the middle, but boy, with great poise he showed, and then athletic ability to run away from pressure and then throw back across his body. He's out to the left, had to throw back over the middle with his right hand, found JT, and there is room for hope for the Cardinals because of that touchdown.
Del Greco will kick it deep, or scrib it instead. Bounces off of Tim Ryan. That's a free ball, of course. And the ball is finally recovered at the 18-yard line. Any of you who are highlights fans saw Barry Foster of Pittsburgh walk away from the kickoff last week in San Francisco. One of the more bizarre plays I've seen in recent years, but that one was touched by Ryan, recovered by Chicago's Roper.
And not only highlight fans, but also every football player in America saw that, and I'm sure all the coaches made sure all their players saw that play by the Pittsburgh rookie. You know, I've been watching football for 30 years or so and never have ever seen anybody walk away from a kickoff like that.
Complete blackout.
Those things will happen. Yeah, those things will happen.
18 seconds to go in the half. Been a near perfect Chicago first half. Wendell Davis hurries out to the right side, and Harbaugh calls timeout.
That's really inexcusable. Boy, look at Thornton's leg
James
there
Thornton.
with all
Yeah,
the blood
I just noticed
on it.
that.
He's not having a good month here, except he did get married on his day off last week. He got poked in the eye against the Rams. He's wearing the shield. He's got the blood on his pants. He's got the Dracula collar going. You think he knows what's coming up in a couple of days? He's already got his costume on.
James Thornton from Cal State Fullerton, number 80. Once a 4th-round draft choice. Got married last Sunday. Young lady named Vicky. Glenn Kozlowski was in his wedding, and they said they had to ask Coach Dickey, "Are you sure we're not going to practice on Sunday during the bye?" And Mike said, "I don't think so." Go ahead and plan the wedding. There's Johnny Bailey skirting to the right side and is knocked down at the 23-yard line. Final 8 seconds, and the clock will wind down at the end of the first half. That's the end of the first half with our score: Chicago 28 and Phoenix 7.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Subaru. We built our reputation by building a better car. DuPont, better things for better living. And by Ultra Slim Fast. Give us a week. We'll take off the weight.
Went in for their second touchdown of the day.
That occurred early second quarter, and after that touchdown, which is accomplished by Neil Anderson, the race was on. Now Kevin Butler will kick off. And Chicago with a 28-7 lead, a 5-1 season record. The Cardinals, hoping against hope to put on a good performance before this full house today, have not done so thus far, though they got a measure of desperate hope at the end of the first half.
And they've really had a tough schedule the last couple of weeks. Last week they played the 5-1 Giants at the time, or the 5-0 Giants at the time. Here they're playing the 5-1 Bears. Next week they got Miami. The next week they got Buffalo. So
both on the road.
Yeah, and there are not a lot of teams in the league that have those outstanding records. So the Cardinals are finding all of them.
Butler will kick off. We're underway with the second half. Sikahima. Out to the 32-yard line, and Tim Rosenbaugh and the Cardinal offense come on the field after a 21-yard kickoff return by Sikahima. Rosenbaugh trying to charge his troops up. Still got that name almost ripped off the back of his jersey.
Got the Ba part ripped. Still got the Rosen though.
1st and 10. Phoenix at 33. Ernie Jones in the ball game. They hand it off the middle to Johnny Johnson. And Dan Hampton makes the tackle. Johnson, as we told you, from Santa Cruz. His mother Kate is here to watch him play in his first regular season game. A 7th-round draft choice. He told us that didn't bother him, Dan, but I think you think a little differently.
Well, I think that there are only 5 or 6 guys in the entire draft that are satisfied in their position, and those are the first 5 or 6 guys that are drafted. The rest of us are very disappointed.
Johnson again out here to 43.
I think we're getting an idea based upon those last 2 plays what Joe Bugle might have talked about at halftime. He might have said something like, you know, we are a good football team, fellas. We're going to be a good football team, and we're a good running team. And we're going to get back to running the ball, and we're going to push this ball all the way down the field right at the Bears. We're going to play that smash mouth football that he likes.
1st and 10, Johnson on that last carry. Play fake. Rosenbaugh with time. Man open. Catch made. Roy Green. 1st down at the 44-yard line. That's a pickup of 13 yards.
This is more like it for the Cardinals because real good protection for Rosenbaugh after the play fake. Here's Richard Dent working against Walter Reeves, and you see he's looking for the run now. He's not looking to rush the passer. Good job of coming back, catching the ball, but if you run the ball well, the play action pass will be there.
Here's Johnson again inside the 40 to 38. You know, I'm sure those in the Phoenix Southwest area are familiar with the story of Johnny Johnson now, but those of you back in the Midwest may not be. He was tagged with an attitude problem after he was kicked off the San Jose State team midway through the season. Matter of fact, right after the earthquake in Southern California. I must say, when you and I chatted with him yesterday, he is a wonderfully mature, thoughtful, very nice young man.
Very impressive, and he plays well, and off the field, he's an all-pro candidate as well.
2nd down and 4, toss to Johnson, sweep. Flag is down. Johnson has a 1st down if the play stands.
Now it's not going to stand because Roy Green was in motion heading towards the line of scrimmage there just as the ball was snapped. Though this nice play by the Cardinals is going to come back.
Motion call. And it should be number 81. Might be Tim Jordan instead.
It's probably the rookie, you know. It wouldn't be the veteran, would it?
Nah.
But that's really a shame. They were moving the ball so well, and then to have a mental error more than anything cost you a nice run like that.
Illegal motion. Offense. Still second down.
Well, just leave it open for speculation.
You know, it's hot for the officials as well. 100 degrees down on the field, and
second down and 9. Straight drop back this time. Man wide open at the 25, first down. Ernie Jones with the grab.
But Jones will alternate with J.T. Smith. This is one of Rosenbaugh's best throws of the day. A real fastball in the seam on the numbers in front of the defensive back, and the Cardinals first down to the 25. If they can get a score here, they're only trailed by 14 with a lot of time left. They've moved the ball very quickly, used up very little clock so far.
11:34 to go, third quarter, and the clock is running. First and 10 from the 25-yard line. Johnson will work on the ground again. And he picks up another 5 yards to the 20-yard line. How about the Giants and the Redskins playing their second game in 3 weeks? Let's check in with Greg Gumbel back in New York.
Well, Verne, the Redskins have pulled closer to the Giants due to no small effort from Skins quarterback Stan Humphries. Rolls right, comes back left, takes a look, pulls it down, and reaches the corner of the end zone. With the point after, it's now a 14-10 Giants lead. Back to Verne and Dan in Phoenix.
Thank you, Greg. Right here, 28-7 with 10:50 to go, third quarter. Johnson knocked down at the 20-yard line. Sean Gale made the tackle.
Yeah, and Mike Singletary and Steve McMichael. Here's Singletary, the familiar pose, total concentration, reading the block, seeing the cutback, and getting in on the tackle. But McMichael's at the bottom of that pile there.
I got tickled with Mike Ditkey yesterday talking about Steve McMichael and the loose attitude of the thing. He said, even McMichael has mellowed. Nah, not really.
No way.
Into the corner, a fade pattern. Knocked away. Nice defensive job by Bestie Jackson on Roy Green.
This is as good a play as you'll ever see a defensive back make. Green has the ball in his hands, and there's the swat away with the right hand by Bestie Jackson. That's how the defensive coaches tell the defensive backs to react. When they see the receiver reach, then you slap for his hands. The ball may be there, you'll knock it away. Great play by Bestie Jackson.
That brings on Al Del Greco, who has hit his last 7 field goals in succession. This one from 36 yards out. No good, the streak ends. And an impressive opening second half drive for the Cardinals comes up empty. It's still 28-7. Afternoon, 10 minutes to go, third quarter, 28-7. Chicago with the ball on offense for the first time in this half. Jim Harbaugh, marvelous first half performance. Ron Morris lines up in the slot to the right side, now comes in motion. Followed by Jay Taylor. Hand off from the dive play, not much there.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Ditka went in at halftime and took all the air out of the footballs and filled them with sand.
Be easy to do here.
Well, it'd be hot sand too. You'd expect the Bears to try and keep it on the ground to run the clock out. A nice 21-point lead. What a big miss, though, for Del Greco on that 36-yard field goal.
Well, the offensive unit for the Cardinals had performed magnificently on that drive, and then to come up with nothing, really deflating. 9 9:15 to go, third quarter. Harbaugh will throw. Pumps once. Now he'll run. Maybe. Out of bounds, but nice defensive pursuit by Ken Harvey and the Cardinal linebacking corps. They're a close-knit bunch, these Cardinal linebackers. Bell and Jackson Hill and Ken Harvey, and Carr Harvey really regarded as an emerging star in this league.
When you have 3 sacks in one game against the New York Giants, you're going to emerge quickly. He is the envy of the other linebackers, as we talked to yesterday. They would all like to be able to get cut loose and get after that quarterback, but Harvey has the athletic ability to succeed at that position. Plus, he's got the number 56.
3rd and 8. Stunts by the defensive line. The pressure coming. The pass is caught by James Thornton, but he is short of the first down at the 28-yard line, and a punting unit will be coming on.
Harbaugh standing up in the slot here, working against the former Bear Lorenzo Lynch. A lot of traffic in the middle there. This is a nice catch, but as you said, Verne, short of the first down, and the fans here give the Cardinal defense a hand as they stop the Bears for one of the few times today.
Laurie Buford is on to punt. This will be the second time he has punted in the ball game. Sikahema waits for it near the 27. Return is on all the way for the Cardinals. A terrific effort by Buford. Fair catch called. Oh, no fair catch. He was shielding his eyes. A flag is down. We may have an illegal block that's going to wipe out this Sikahema return.
They're going to nail Marcus Turner for the illegal block that time. It appeared that Sikahema was signaling for the fair catch or trying to get his balance or something. That was a wonderful punt by Buford, but it also was an illegal block by Marcus Turner, and that'll bring back
Gallagher pushing the back on the return, number 23.
another fine play by the Cardinals. This is a hustle type of play. Kozlowski's coming right now, and here's the push in the back right there. That's an easy one to call.
So instead of that fine punt return, a penalty tacked onto a 54-yard punt. That pushes the Cardinals inside their own 10, and time has been called. In Sun Devil Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona, actually in Tempe, Arizona, a suburb of Phoenix, 28-7, 7:49 to go. And here come the Cardinals trailing by 21 midway through quarter number 3. Rosenbaugh, Johnson, the second and first-year players in the backfield. Good block on Perry, but he gets up and hurries into Rosenbaugh, and the pass is incomplete. Fun during that timeout to watch the smartest player on the field for the Chicago Bears. There were 10 players standing in the sun for the Bears defensive unit. That guy was in the shade.
You know, he's probably experienced some hot days in his life and really struggled with them. Obviously, he knows how to take care of himself. He was the guy that was putting the pressure on the quarterback. He should have had the whole team stand in the shade with him.
It was really fun. The 10 of them were all out in the sunlight. Williams said, Second down and 10. Rosenbaugh back. As Roy Green. That's close for the first down near the 20-yard line. That might be enough for a 1st and 10 to move the chain. I believe it is.
The Bears have really substituted freely here on this series. Only 3 regulars probably. Let's see, Singletary, Perry, and Lemuel Stinson.
Well, you've got Ron Cox, 54. Fred Washington, 91. Perry. Tim Ryan is in. Or is Richard Dent still in? John Roper. Dent is still in. 1st and 10, Phoenix. Johnny Johnson finds his way out to the 23-yard line. He had some trouble finding this stadium, the locker room this morning, Dan.
Well, as I was approaching the press box, he said, "Hey, Dan, how you doing?" I said, "Well, what are you doing here?" He said, "Well, I had to park in the press parking lot. I didn't have my player's parking pass, which is on the other side of the stadium." He left me, went right up to one of the ushers and asked the usher, "Where is the Cardinal locker room from here?" That's a tough way to start your day, coming in the stadium on the wrong side, not knowing where the locker room is.
42 yards on 13 carries now. 6:28 to go, third quarter, 2nd and 6. Flag is down. Rosenbaugh chased. He'll run. Circles to the left. Chased by Marcus Paul. This all may come back, depending on the infraction. If it stands, it's a 25-yard gain.
I'm afraid it's not going to stand. It appeared that it was illegal motion against the Cardinals.
Offside.
Well, there you go. Chicago,
it will stand.
Now you wonder about Rosenbaugh. That was a big run for him. He appears to be a little bit winded.
Nose guard. Fine. First down.
But the young man has got no quit in his game at all. You know, that he's a competitive guy. He doesn't have all the smooth tools that you would like to see in a quarterback. But one thing that Bugle says is that he will make plays competitively. And that was a good example of that right there. Last guy up off of one knee in the huddle there. I guarantee you this is a running play.
And he's not the designated runner. This will be a handoff. Oh, no. Incomplete into a falling receiver at the 37-yard line. The receiver is J.T. Smith.
Now, Rosenbaugh will learn that after he runs that far the next time that he should just shake off that call and hand the ball off to Johnson and catch his breath and get himself back together. You saw that pass there, could have been easily intercepted. It was just floating out there. The guy is winded, pure and simple.
Rosenbaugh 167 yards throwing the ball thus far. 2nd and 10. 28-7 with 5:48 to go. Third quarter, Chicago's up. Eight-man front for the Bears. They're coming on the blitz. Nice throw to the hot receiver, J.T. Smith. As John Roper was right in Rosenbaugh's face. Singletary with the tackle.
First thing Rosenbaugh notices is the blitz. An unblocked man coming. Roper, the hot receiver, is J.T. Smith, and the Cardinals have a first down. How big now is that missed field goal and the missed touchdown opportunity when Vesti Jackson knocked the ball away from Roy Green?
Would have been at the very least 28-10 had it not been for the missed 36-yard field goal. Johnson to the 30-yard line. That's close for another first down. Marcus Paul with the tackle.
And Johnny Johnson's going to show you a couple of moves here in the hole after he gets through the hole. Watch the blocking up front here. Derek Kennard will clean up on the inside, allows Johnson to get behind him. A quick move up the field for 6 extra yards.
Derek Kennard, who has moved from starting center to left guard this year, giving way to Bill Lewis. First down at the 30. They hand it off to Johnson, who tries to cut back to his right and is knocked down in the middle by Dan Hampton, the spiritual leader of this Chicago defensive team. And Johnson will come out.
And Hampton's after my job. Did you read that in the Chicago papers?
I saw that. He said he wanted to retire after he retires to become an analyst because it's easy.
Well, he says it's like being a backup quarterback. So I saw him before the game. I told him, I've never been a backup quarterback, but this job at times is easier.
Second down. On the roll. Knocked down. Great play.
By the great playmaker, Mike Singletary.
Yep. Wanted to make sure, and it was.
And he's winded as well. But watch Singletary in the middle here. Number 50, layout, left hand way up in the air. Oh, that's just beautiful. You don't expect that out of Singletary. You expect him to be knocking helmets off. What an athletic move.
You know, he may be trying to send a message because he's been irritated all year that he's taken out of the passing downs by Mike Ditka.
He's on one knee over there now. He doesn't mind not being in there on this passing down.
3rd and 9. Flag is down. Catch is made by J.T. Roy Green, it is. We are up here a long ways. And now we'll see what the flag is. 12-yard gain. Ben Dreith and Pat Haggerty.
Illegal formation, offense.
Wipes out that 12-yard gain.
It makes for one unhappy wide receiver there and a couple of coaches. Illegal formation, not enough men on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that'll make it 3rd and 14. 5 penalties for Phoenix. Chicago still none. 3rd and 14, 3:35 to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Blitz. Rosenbaugh, left side, caught short of the 1st down. Smith breaks the tackle, still needs a half a yard. And I'm sure the Cardinals will go for it.
J.T. Smith is one of the stronger receivers in the NFL, and I'm sure that Lemuel Stinson didn't expect to have his grasp broken like that, but J.T. has got strong hands and strong legs. Got the Michael Jackson look today, one glove on, one glove off.
And a little limp in his get-along as he comes to the near side. 4th and about 1.5 feet. Ron Wolfley has come in. Jordan, Johnny Johnson back in the lineup.
It appears that Rosenbaugh was looking at a play sheet that he has. This has got to go to Johnny Johnson.
It does. Johnson to the outside. The race is on. 4-1. Touchdown, Cardinals.
He says that his 2 heroes are Marcus Allen and Eric Dickerson. Both those guys can make plays like this. This was supposed to go off tackle, but watch the bounce to the outside, and then the football speed. Eyeing the corner of the end zone, Tate comes over, but Johnson's got both feet in. Touchdown, Phoenix. I'm sure they're going to review this to see whether the ball ever broke the plane. But he definitely had both feet in the corner of the end zone. Carrying the ball on the outside, so we may be here for a while they figure this one out. There's the left foot. There goes the right foot right inside the cone.
That's got to be 6.
The ball is in as well. What an outstanding move, though. Bouncing it to the outside, using that speed. This look ought to show it exactly where the ball is. Great effort by Tate, but the ball is inside. Touchdown.
The play stands as ruled. Touchdown.
Well, the Cardinals and their fans can only look back at that missed opportunity earlier in this quarter, which they have dominated. It's been a complete turnaround from the first half. Johnny Johnson's touchdown with the extra point to come could cut the margin in half, but they squandered a marvelous opportunity on their first possession. Tupa will hold for Del Greco's kick. It was Del Greco who missed that 36-yard field goal. Extra point is up and good. Johnny Johnson with a 21-yard touchdown run. The Cardinals trail by 14, 2.5 to go in the quarter. Remaining quarter number 3, a quarter owned by the Cardinals thus far. 28-14 on Johnson's 21-yard run. And Del Greco will kick it off. That run came on 4th and a foot. That will be out of bounds and come out to the 35-yard line.
Take a look at the touchdown. Right in front of Johnson is Ron Wolfley. He will lead and jump through the hole right here. Johnson's supposed to follow him, but he knows that he can bounce it to the outside with his ability. There he goes right now, and it's that old foot race to the corner, and Johnson wins it.
It's been a half dominated by the Cardinals, both offensively and in time of possession. Matter of fact, Chicago with 1 possession. Now Jim Harbaugh, Bortz, Fontenot, Van Horn, Thayer, James Thornton. And there's Johnny Johnson. A good look at the rookie running back, 22 years of age, from Santa Cruz, California. Anderson is the motion man. Harbaugh, play action. All down from behind after he picks up about 4. Anthony Bell, who calls himself the laborer among the linebacking crew, made the tackle.
Yeah, Anthony Bell's job most of the time is to pound on the tight end. There he is, number 55 at the top of the screen, and he's just going to stay after Harbaugh and make the tackle. But yeah, Anthony Bell, his job is to be the blacksmith all day and just pound on that tight end.
Did you notice the way Jim Covert just rode Ken Harvey around the quarterback then too?
Yeah, he's got that 60 pounds on him. Very easy to push him away.
Second down.
If he can get his hands on him.
And 5. Play fake. Harbaugh on the crossing pattern. Morris can't hang on. He was wide open at the Cardinal 40 as there had been a mix-up on the coverage, and that is the first Harbaugh incomplete pass today. 7 in a row for Jim Harbaugh.
Well, notice how Morris is looking back into the sun here. The ball is behind him just a touch as he goes into the shade. That's like trying to hit that fastball on the twilight games in baseball, isn't it, Verne?
Yeah, I remember that. Forkball used to give me a lot of trouble. 3rd and 5. Harbaugh. That's real close to the first down at the 45. This might necessitate a measurement. Cedric Mack made the tackle.
You know, Harbaugh's not one of those quarterbacks that goes into the hook slide either. He likes to go head first, and he knew that he was getting close to that first down marker.
Garth Jacks, you see number 53, had a dehydration problem at the half and did not play in the early portion of this half. Obviously okay now. They signal first down. They don't even bring the chain all the way out. There's Garth Jacks. 1st and 10, Chicago. New Orleans had 8 turnovers in their loss today to Detroit. The Jets knock off Houston, and a 14-10 Giant score leading the Redskins. Our score is 28-14. 1st and 10, Chicago. Split backs now on first down. Play fake again. Deep left side for Morris. Jay Taylor with the coverage. Tipped away. And excellent coverage by Jay Taylor.
Well, we've seen 2 examples of outstanding work by cornerbacks. One was Vesty Jackson on Roy Green. This is a very similar play. As Harbaugh, this ball is a little bit underthrown and to the outside. But watch how Taylor will reach in with his left hand at the last second and slap it away. And also get a little tag on the official. But Morris had to spin around and try and find that ball, underthrown by Harbaugh.
2nd and 10 from the Chicago 45. Anderson in motion. Draw play, Muster, cut down. After a gain of 2, it'll be 3rd and 8. Lonnie Young, number 43, made the contact.
Now, for the first time all day, the Cardinals have the Bears in a position, in a situation where the Bears aren't real confident. They do not like 3rd and long passing situations. In fact, Harbaugh told me yesterday that he really enjoys throwing it on 1st and 2nd down with the play action, but he does not feel comfortable with all the pressure on his shoulders to convert on 3rd and long.
Mike Ditka said yesterday, if you keep us out of 3rd and long, we can beat anybody in this league. If we're in 3rd and long, we have trouble. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with our score. Chicago 28. The Phoenix Cardinals 14. The 4th quarter, final 15 is coming. Chicago scored 28 unanswered first half points, 21 in the 2nd quarter. The Cardinals scored right before halftime to cut it to 28-7. They have scored 1 touchdown in the 2nd half. They missed an opportunity when a touchdown pass was knocked away by Vesty Jackson in the end zone, and then Del Greco missed a 36-yard field goal. Phoenix did come back with a touchdown. It's 28-14, and now 3rd down and 8. for the Chicago Bears, who are 4 of 7 on third down conversions. 4 wide receivers in. 4-man rush. Harbaugh flushed out of the pocket. And a lot of room. First down at the Cardinal 40. A gain of 13.
Well, the Cardinals are in man-to-man coverage in the secondary, and there's no spy for the quarterback. That may be a mistake when you're facing a quarterback who runs as well as Jim Harbaugh does. Cardinals have nobody responsible for him on this play, and that was an easy little trot for the first down.
Harbaugh with 24 yards, 13 on that carry on 3rd and 8. First down at the 40. Harbaugh with Freddie Joe Nunn in his face. The pass is incomplete. When last we checked, the Giants led the Redskins. Let's go back to Greg Gumbel and see what's happening.
Verne and 2nd and goal, and the Redskins are threatening. Watch Stan Humphries pass for Ernest Biner into his hands and out of him and into the hands of Greg Jackson. It's still a 14-10 Giants lead. 4th quarter. Back to Phoenix.
Thank you, Greg.
You know, when you're undefeated and playing well, you do get some lucky bounces. That was a lucky bounce for the Giants.
Mike Ditka and his team have had some lucky bounces. They were only defeated once this year by the Raiders. 2nd down and 10. Hand off. Official down at the 33.
That's Bob Wagner, the biggest umpire in the league, and he really affects this play. Watch Neil Anderson. He was about to cut, and he was running away from that figure there. Big Bob Wagner. He doesn't know what to do there. He can't make a move on the official. And McDonald makes the tackle and gets the official down. You talk about being in a tough place on the field. I would not want that job.
It's got to be the most vulnerable position for the officiating crew, umpire. Now 3rd and 3. 28-14, early moments, final quarter. Harbaugh, 2-step drop, slant pattern. Pass is caught, first down at the 27. Ron Morris makes the grab.
Now Harbaugh is playing like a first-round pick now. He's playing like a big-time NFL quarterback. One of the knocks against him is that he throws the ball too hard, and just recently he's starting to feather the ball more, throw it with a lot of touch. Well, it's nice to have in reserve that 100-mile-an-hour fastball as he threw to Morris that time.
First and 10, 13 minutes to go in the game. Anderson, cutback to the 20. They're working on the clock and the ground now, the Bears are.
Yeah, and they're starting to wear out that Cardinal front line here. Watch how the covert comes off and boards. And Anderson, again, how many times do we have to say it? The vision to cut back and find the hole behind that big offensive line. Fontenot even gets out there, gets a nice block on Eric Hill.
Inside the 20 today, the Bears 3 times and 3 touchdowns. The Cardinals 1 time, no touch. That was the missed field goal. With a 15-yard line. Lonnie Young with the tackle. And we're under 12 minutes in the ball game. 28-14, Chicago on top.
It's really fun to watch Anderson play because he gives it everything he's got on every play. At the end of that play, he dove out just to ensure that he had enough for the first down, even though he had 2 guys hanging on his back.
And it's a first down at the 15-yard line for Neil Anderson, 71 yards now. He and Johnny Johnson of the Cardinals just about even. Johnson has 74. This is a game that was dominated by the Bears in the first half. Cardinals played very well in the second half, but now Chicago reestablishing its superiority. counter tray. Anderson at the 14. McDonald with the tackle. Tim McDonald, of whom Joe Bugel said yesterday, a rare player.
Well, it is the counter tray, and nice fake by Anderson up behind Van Horn, but Tim McDonald really is an outstanding hitter. You mentioned the long line of USC safeties, Ronnie Lott, Dennis Smith, Joey Browner. Well, McDonald is right up there with them. Great tradition at SC, and McDonald's carrying it as well as Mark Carrier here in the NFL.
2nd and 9 at the 14. Up the middle, Muster surging and driving down to the 6-yard line before Anthony Bell and Tim McDonald make the tackle.
They're really pounding them now. This is almost like watching George Foreman fighting somebody. The Bears are just laying on the Cardinals now. The big guys up front. Beautiful trap block there by Fontenot and Thayer, and then the big fullback comes up, and Muster's having an outstanding day. We're not talking too much about how many yards he's carrying, but his average is way up there, about 8 yards per carry.
14th play of the drive, 3rd and 1. Anderson, Muster with a kick-out block. Flags are down. And we'll see.
It'll be against the Bears. The only way that they've been stopped on this drive.
62, offense, still 3rd down.
Mark Bortz called for holding.
That is the first penalty against Chicago today.
Bortz is on the left side of the screen, number 62, and this is what they call a takedown in the business, working against Sadler. Pushes him over the top. I'm not so sure that's holding. He looked like he had good leverage. His hands were inside, and the man underneath, one of his own teammates, caused him to go down.
That does cost the Bears 10. It's 3rd and 11 from the 16. Fake the handoff. Harbaugh has to throw it away.
Outstanding job by Harbaugh. He's gaining a reputation around the league for being the best at doing just that. He runs the ball very well, but he also knows when to get rid of the ball. And the amazing thing is his percentage with all the throwaways that he makes. That's his first throwaway of the day. He's still up around 60%. So limping a little bit coming off. Good job getting rid of it.
Kevin Butler enjoys life on the road more than most. That one's good. Our coverage will continue after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Teammates getting ready to come on the field after their offensive teammates ran off 8 minutes and 35 seconds of the clock.
15-play drive, and they only went 49 yards. That's ball control.
Sikahema. Flagler this time. Out near the 28-yard line. 27-yard return by Terrence Flagler, the former 49er and former Cowboy. 31-14. Cardinals have the ball when we return. Thus far, 320 yards to 269 for the two teams. Chicago 181 yards on the ground. Harbaugh 8 of 12 for 146, and Anderson has scored twice. It's 31-14 with 8:49 to go in the ball game, and a most impressive offensive drive by the Bears when Joe Bugel's team had cut the score in half.
And Bugel's Cardinals really had controlled the second half. Of course, the Bears had used a lot of substitution on their defense, but I guarantee you the recess bell rang after the Johnson touchdown, and the regulars are back in class here for Chicago.
Ricky Kroll is the motion man for the Cardinals. Rosenbaugh back. Roy Green with a sliding catch at the 46-yard line. First down, Cardinals. Let's check in. And with the hurry-up offense here from Cardinals after a gain of 16. Heard so much I got words wrapped around my eye teeth. Couldn't say what I was saying.
Yeah, now you know how I feel most of the time.
All out of Henny Youngman line. There's a pass to Johnny Johnson. And that's good across the 50 to the 46-yard line.
Cardinals have no other choice but to go to this hurry-up offense. The Bears took so much time off the clock, 8.5 minutes of their last drive, that this is dire straits time for Phoenix.
2nd and 1. Rosenbaugh looks deep left side. Now he can run it for the first down. Does, and stops the clock at the 40. That's a Cardinal first down. And let's check in now on what's happening with the Giants and the Redskins. Here's Greg Gumbel.
Well, Verne watched Stan Humphries throw his 3rd interception of the day, his 2nd to Everson Walls, and Walls returns this 28 yards for a touchdown. That'll all but seal it for the Giants, who lead at 21-10, less than 4 minutes to play in the game. Back to Verne and Dan.
Thank you, Greg. I must tell you I'm thrilled for Everson Walls. He's one of my favorite people in this league, and he's found new life with the Giants. Having run into a personal problem with Jimmy Johnson and being set free as a plan B by the Cowboys.
And not bad going from 1-15 one year to 7-0 the next.
Blitz coming from the Bears. Rosenbaugh with time. Incomplete at the 26-yard line. Roy Green couldn't hang on. Stops the clock with 7:23 to go. Rosenbaugh now 216 yards. He and Bill Lewis, his center. Lewis coming from the Raiders as a plan B. I'm stopping because I'm not at all sure what the boos are all about. Can you tell?
Well, half the people are happy, the Bear fans, and I'm sure the Cardinals are fired up and wanting something good to happen.
Rosenbaugh, deep left side for Green. Caught! Touchdown! 40 yards.
Now there's a guy in the booth standing over here by the name of Neil Lomax that just broke into a huge grin as he saw his old buddy Roy Green do it. He's done so many times for Neil. Lay out deep in the end zone, coming up with a big catch. Rosenbaugh throws this ball as far as he possibly can. Avoids the sack by dint. Watch the acceleration to the ball, the dive, the grab, the touchdown.
How many times has Roy Green done that off the arm of Neil Lomax? And now from Tim Rosenbaugh. Del Greco with the extra point. Cardinals get to 21. They still trail by 10. We've got 7:16 remaining in the game.
Football League is sponsored by Isuzu. For features, styling, and price, there's no comparison. The First Brands Corporation, makers of Prestone Advanced Formula Antifreeze. And by Domino's Pizza. Hot, fresh, and delicious. It's time for Domino's Pizza.
Al Del Greco with the kickoff. Dennis Gentry with the return for the Chicago Bears. Nicely done. Out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And a bit of a fracas breaks out in the bench area. 29-yard return. Ron Wolfley.
You know, Wolfley, he'd like to take on the whole team over there, wouldn't he?
Coming up a week from today, the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern Time. And the NFL Today will be followed by our regional coverage. Chicago at Tampa Bay, the 49ers at Green Bay. Dallas goes on to take on the Jets. Washington visits Detroit. Phoenix at Miami. Check the time for the game and which game it'll be in your area. Bears at the 33-yard line, 7:04 to go in the ball game. Leading by 10. Gentry in the lineup. Mustard in motion. Covert leads the way for Anderson, and he is spilled at the 36-yard line by Garth Jacks, number 53.
Now, Cardinal fans are rooting now for a fumble of some type, but they're rooting against the wrong team. The Bears have only fumbled 4 times all year, and they've only lost 2 of those fumbles. So they take care of that ball, and that's a remarkable statistic when you consider how many times they run the ball.
One of those fumbles was by Harbaugh when he was sacked for a safety against the Raiders. Mike Ditka said that's one of the few mistakes Jim Harbaugh has made this year. Second down, clock running at 6:20. Bobble. Harbaugh gets it back and throws it over. Oh, picked off. Intercepted by Lonnie Young.
This play was doomed from the start, Verne. You mentioned the bobble of the center snap. Thayer will come across and almost knock the ball away. Now Harbaugh throws the ball too high for Muster. He can only manage one hand on it, and Lonnie Young almost had himself 6 points. The one thing Lonnie did was stay with the ball after he bobbled himself, made the interception laying flat on his back.
That's the first interception of this season for Lonnie Young. And the Cardinals with a first down at the 35. Well, the Cardinals didn't get the fumble. They got the pick instead. Rosenbaugh chased by Hampton, but with time, across the body and almost picked off in return. How well have the Bears done in holding on to the football in the fourth quarter? This is the first time they've turned it over in the fourth quarter in 1990.
They have been excellent with the turnover ratio, #1 in the league. Harbaugh, that was just his 4th interception of the year. And the amazing thing about it, if he throws it 2 inches higher, Muster doesn't even touch it. It goes over his head, and it falls safely and complete. But Muster trying very hard to make the grab. Ball bounces up in the air, and Lonnie Young makes a super catch of his own.
Second down and 10 at the 35. Just under 6 minutes to go. Four-man rush. Rosenbaugh shakes it, sidearms the ball, caught by Walter Reeves, and guess what? They're going to bring it back. Pat Haggerty is going to rule in the grasp.
Oh, this is terrible. Absolutely terrible. They're going to have to go back to where the quarterback is just down, period. Treat him like anybody else, because this call is the most abused and most missed by referees. Grasp and control for a sack. If you don't take them down, you've never controlled them. They don't stop Rosenbaugh. Watch how he drops down and gets leverage of himself, pulls away from the tackle of Armstrong. Sure, there's a grasp there by Armstrong, but there's no control. Rosenbaugh is well on his way. That's not that difficult a maneuver for him, young and strong as he is. Terrible call.
Cardinals have called time. It's the second time today that Pat Haggerty has called Rosenbaugh for being in the grasp and the control of the defensive line of the Chicago Bears. And that one cost them 8 yards.
8 yards, and
plus the first down by Walter Reeves.
All the yardage that Reeves made after the catch.
5:35 remains in the ball game. 31-21. Chicago has the lead. 5 to go in the ball game. Tim Rosenbaugh and the Cardinals for the 3rd down and 18.
And I guarantee you what they talked about on the sidelines, Bugle probably told Rosenbaugh, listen, we're going to go on 4th down. 18 yards is a lot to make in one play. We're going to try and make it up in 2.
2 wide receivers split to the left, another wide right. And Johnson goes out as well, so everybody out on pass patterns. Rosenbaugh, incomplete, intended for Ricky Prohl, who thought he might get a call on Veste Jackson, and will continue to plead his case.
Good job, close coverage by Veste Jackson here. He loses his balance and he takes Prohl down with him. Ball bounces right off of Ricky Prohl's helmet. Yeah, you can hear the boos, can't you? They just saw it on the replay board here at Sun Devil Stadium, and that did look like pass interference.
Or inadvertent contact.
Yeah, that's another one of those rules they ought to fix up a little bit, too.
You're going to take charge of the rules committee in the offseason. 4th and 18. Got to hurry. They've got 2 seconds before the clock. Now they got the play off.
No, they didn't. Delay a game.
Haggerty was back there blowing the whistle, but apparently not very loudly.
Delay a game, offense.
And that'll make it 4th and 23.
And here comes the punt. That's really a shame. You go back, the Cardinals were moving very well. You get the grasp and control, so to speak, sack on Rosenbaugh. Really punishes a competitive, athletic young man like Rosenbaugh when he's just fighting, trying to get away from the rush, and the referee is acting as if he's trying to make the sack with the call himself.
Oh, yeah.
You ought to give that sack to the referee.
Danny, I find it interesting that the rule is intended to protect the quarterbacks. I have never met a quarterback, former or current, who likes that rule. Not one.
Well, here's one that sure doesn't like it either, Rosenbaugh. I tell you what, the thing I didn't like about it is it created some hesitancy in the quarterback's play himself. I mean, am I under control? Do I stop fighting now? Or your natural instincts is to just keep fighting, and Tim is a fighter.
Looked a little like Roger Clemens.
Same vocabulary.
Camarillo. Flag is down. Ball is down. We'll check against whom the infraction is going to be called.
Ineligible man downfield on the kicking team.
Oh, what a big penalty that was. If you have any chance at all, your best chance is with your opponent pinned back on the 1 yard line. Camarillo is going to have to try it from 5 yards deeper this time, but that was good coverage by Phoenix, but they're penalized by making another silly mistake, another penalty.
Ineligible man downfield, number 54, 5 yard penalty, 4th down again.
Called on David Braxton. And Camarillo will punt again. 4th and 28. And Rosenbaugh still striding the sidelines with a purpose.
Yeah, and you see he's getting a wide berth there too, isn't he?
And another flag. This one is going to be thrown in the bench area on the Cardinals. Somebody said something they shouldn't have.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Phoenix bench, 15-yard penalty.
That was Ernie France, the head linesman.
You notice all the shut mouths over there now. The coaches turned around to find out who was the foul mouth. Not me. It was that guy over there.
Rosenbaugh wants a little more.
That's really rare to get that call against the bench. But obviously the officials heard something that they have their limits as well. They can only take so much.
Fourth and 43. Bailey fumbles it out of bounds, so his problems continue. But the Bears do get it back after a 47-yard punt, and they will go to work on the clock now, which shows 4:42 remaining in the ball game.
A 4th and 43, and they get a 47-yard punt. Is that a net of 4?
Net 4.
You know, and then you look back to where they had the ball pinned back. The Bears were going to take over on their 1 yard line before all those penalties pushed them back.
First down and 10, Chicago, 31-21. Mike Ditka's bunch trying to go 6-1 and win in his career as head coach of the Bears for the first time against the Cardinals. Mustard. Fumble. Chicago retains possession.
Boy, Phoenix can't buy a break. That ball was on the ground for a long time. Appeared one of the wide receivers came over and made the recovery, or Mustard did. You wonder about the Bears' concentration level here right now. See who pops this ball loose. It's Tim McDonald. And the recovery looks like Wendell Davis. No, Mustard reaches out with his left hand and just drags it back in. All those Cardinals around, just 2 Bears, and the Bears get it.
Cleveland has tied up the 49ers. How about that? They were down 17-3. Second down and 2 here. The clock shows 3:53 to go. Anderson close for the first down for 32. Tackle made by Eric Hill and Garth Jacks.
If I were the Cardinals, I'd be using my timeouts right now. Why save them for the last 2 minutes or the last minute? Stop the clock right now and hope that you get the ball on a turnover, a fumble, or an interception. But there's no sense in saving these last 2 timeouts.
First and 10 for Chicago, and the clock continues to unravel.
Yeah, Harbaugh's going to use every bit of that 45 seconds he has between plays here.
Play fake, he'll pass it. Deep left side, Ron Morris leans way up in the air and makes the grab. Cedric Mack with the tackle, a gain of 20. How about this for the Bear fans? Tampa gets pounded by San Diego by 31.
And all that does is open up a 2.5 game lead for the Bears over Tampa, who they'll play next week in Florida. But you talked earlier, Verne, about whether this was Harbaugh's team or not. That play selection by Ditka and Greg Landry on the sidelines gives you an indication of how much confidence they have in their quarterback.
Time has been called by the Cardinals. Excuse me, Dan.
Yeah, well, they must have a lot. You can see this is a very calm discussion on the sidelines. Greg Landry is there, Mike Ditka, Mike Tomczak.
Well, Chicago 5-1, hoping to go 6-1 after today. Tampa Bay's record now evens up at 4-4. Detroit got 8 turnovers from New Orleans and won today. Green Bay with a big win over Minnesota. The Vikings are a woeful team now at 1-6.
Yeah, their ship lost their rudder somewhere along the way. Then you look at the Giants in that NFC East, a 3-game lead now for the Giants as they go to 7-0.
And in the NFC West, the 49ers are tied right now, but they've got a big lead over everybody in their division, Atlanta, New Orleans, and Los Angeles. First down and 10. So we may be running out of races at the midway point in the NFC.
All going for that wild card second half of the season.
Anderson down at the 50. Cardinals call another timeout. That's their last one. And the clock is stopped with 2:37 to go in the ball game. Chicago has all 3, which they won't bother to use. 31-21. Just a quick recap for you. The Bears opened up a 28-0 lead in the first half. Couldn't do anything wrong, and then Phoenix scored just before halftime to make it 28-7. They dominated the third quarter, cut the lead to 28-14 at one point, that despite missing a field goal, and had a chance trailing by 10 in the fourth quarter when Lonnie Young intercepted for 35, but the controversial in the grass call on the quarterback cost the Cardinals a first down. Tim Rosenbaugh was irate with that call, and they wound up having to punt on 4th and 43. Second down and 10, or second down and 11.
The Bears have demonstrated early in this season that they are the best front-running team in the league. They get a lead, and you're not going to take it away from them. They've got a lot of people playing on defense. They're playing extremely well. They can control the ball. They can take time off the clock. The one question is, how good can they play when they're behind? They got behind the Raiders this year, didn't do a good job of catching up. That's their only loss of the year. But when they get ahead, boy, they're tough to catch up on.
And the 2-minute warning will stop the clock now. 31-21 is the score. Jim Harbaugh for the day, 9 of 14 for 166. It's been a rather typical day for him, typical of the games he's had in 1990, and a big 67-yard pass play among the efforts he's had today. So the Bears on the verge of going 6-1.
And Harbaugh's starting to get some of that McMahon stuff, huh? He's got the headband. He's got to find some type of name to put up there, though. I wonder how Tagliabue would look on his headband.
For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, I'm Verne Lundquist along with Dan Fouts, and welcome to Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. CBS Sports coverage of the NFL, where the Bears lead the Cardinals 31-21. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety following this game, except in the Pacific and Mountain time zones, where it will be seen at its regular time. 60 Minutes coming up next. Jim Harbaugh and Ron Morris. They hooked up on a 67-yard pass. There's Jim Thornton, the newlywed of a week. Tom Thayer.
He's got one of those Harbaugh chin straps, huh? Not much you can do, Tim Rosenbaugh, at this point. Played hard. You were victimized by a couple of controversial sack calls, but the guy's got a lot of heart. And Bugle, although he won't admit that he's proud of his team for the way they came back today, because they won't have won the game,
right? But
he's got to be happy that his team did not quit. They had the emotional loss last week against the Giants. He won't accept that that was a moral victory. There are only one kind of victories for Joe Bugle, and that's on the scoreboard.
Well, and for the Cardinals, as Dan said earlier, it doesn't get any easier. They're going to fall to 2-5, and then they have to go to Miami and Buffalo in the next 2 weeks. For Chicago, a 2.5 game edge in the division. They are at Tampa next week. Dan and I will be down there. Then at home against the Atlanta Falcons in 2 weeks. But the Bears beginning to stretch a lot of games on the road. 2 minutes to go, and the Cardinals cannot stop the clock. And off to Muster, huge hole. And that ought to put the cork in this one, because the Bears will be able to run out the clock now at the 27-yard line. .143 remaining.
And that carry by Brad Muster leaves him just 2 yards shy of 100 yards for today. Congratulations from his offensive lineman.
I think that is a season best for Brad. It may be. Time has been called with 1:33 to go in the ball game. We'll be back in just a moment.
On Wall Street.
1:33 to go in the game. 1st and 10. Brad Muster with a career high of 99 yards. See if they give him the ball again. Anderson will get it on this carry.
Yeah, you wonder if the Bear coaches realize that he's just a yard or two shy of 100 yards, kind of the magic number for a running back.
My guess is no, they don't.
Well, and then again, Mike Ditka's going to call the very best play so that his team has success. Remember those T-shirts he handed out this year had the word team on there. It didn't say anything about 100 yards for Brad Muster. So Brad may be out of luck.
I was trying to lead you in that direction, and you got there. I'm proud of you.
Well, I got this ring in my nose you keep pulling on.
Final 50 seconds of the ball game. They'll give it to, oh my gosh, how about this? The reverse to Ron Morris. Final 30 seconds. That comes up at the 20-yard line, short of the first down. 17-17 in the fourth quarter. And Michael Kofer about to attempt a 45-yard field goal. And Jim Harbaugh and the Chicago Bears, under the supervision of Michael Ditka, go to 6-1. Trace Armstrong and Tim Rosenbaugh. And this one's in the bank for the Chicago Bears. 31-21. They hang on after building up a 28-0 lead. We'll be right back.